Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm James, and ordinarily I would have an animal with me to help me, but today I'm going to need my hands. And today's video, I'm going to give you a little bit of a DIY hack for your vivariums, and that is I'm going to show you how I use window film to cover the outside of my aquariums, and in some cases black out the glass for the inside of the vivarium. And this is just blackout window film. It's really easy to find on Amazon. You can find it in black, which is what I usually use, but you can also find it in all kinds of colors and patterns. And it's fairly inexpensive. I could get a roll of this for a 6-foot roll was about $7. And so what I've done is I've used a damp paper towel and I've cleaned the glass. I measured this area. In this case, this vivarium is against the wall here and against the wall here. So the only thing I'm covering up is this side. So I've measured this side. You can see, and I'm going to show you this vivarium a little closer here in just a bit, but you can see where I put the spray foam background on the side here. You can see that spray foam through the glass, and it's not that appealing. So I'm going to cover that up and just give it a cleaner look. Now, once you've cut this to size, what you want to do, and this is kind of a pain, and I've already kind of found the corner and peeled it back, but that's sometimes the difficult part. So there is a film on this, and it's so thin and it's shiny, and if you didn't realize it, you might not realize that there's a film on the back of this that you have to peel off. So now that I've got the film off, our next step is we're going to use our mister and mist down the glass, and you want to get it pretty wet. Everything's gonna stick. It's a static cling and it uses the water to stick. This is a little bit challenging. I've done it a few times, so I have a little bit of practice. Okay, so I have this film on the glass. I sprayed it down with water, and now what I'm using here is, this is just a little scraper that I use to, actually I use it to clean my pizza stone in the kitchen. If you don't have something like this, anything with a really flat edge, even something like a credit card would work fine. But what you want to do is just use this like a squeegee, and you're trying to get it just all flattened down and take out any air bubbles. And you might notice I kind of work from the center out. You really want to get it pretty flat before you start doing this. If you get too big of a wrinkle, it can be difficult to get those out. Okay, now that's not perfect, but it's close enough for me to get to the next step. And even though I measured this as the best that I could, it still is a little bit, it's coming out over the edge here. There's a little bit that overlapped the bottom there. So I still need to just trim it up a little bit. One word of caution is be careful when you're trimming the edges of these to not get your razor blade in the seam where the glass is silicone together. You don't want to get your razor blade into that silicone and break that seam, because then you'll have a leaky terrarium. So what I'm going to do is just trim the edge. Okay. Okay, and I just trimmed off the edge there. And I think we're all set. So now I'm going to go back and smooth the whole thing out again. Okay, and there you have it. It's a clean look. You no longer see the ugly styrofoam from the background. Like I said, there's a couple different times when you might want to use this. One would be when you just want to cover that side for how it looks on the outside. The other times I use this, and probably more importantly, is to give animals security. Now these animals can't see through the glass because I put a background on both the sides and the back. But if I have a tank that doesn't have any kind of background on it, for instance my ball python Jerry's enclosure, there is no background on the back and sides, but I did put the window film around it just to give him more of a sense of security. And like I said, you can get this. Most people use it in black like this. I think probably it's most commonly used to black out windows in, for instance, a bedroom if you want to make it really dark so you can sleep better. But you can get it in all different kind of colors and patterns. For instance, here, this is my garter snakes, Daryl and Carol's enclosure, and I used this flower pattern. And this was kind of inspired by Gay from Gotta Love Pythons channel. And I love her. I think she is awesome. She really reminds me of my mother, the way she is with her animals, and she's really inspired me to do the best that I can for my animals and to really build loving relationships with them. And to say that this background was inspired by her, you'd have to watch her channel and see the decor in her enclosures and in her reptile room, and that would make perfect sense to you. So some of you might be wondering about this vivarium that I'm working on, and this is it. I've recently just completed this, and as you can see, there's several horizontal branches for climbing and a lot of ivy for cover. And the reason for that is I'm getting this vivarium ready for a rough green snake. And I am really excited about that. But that will be a topic for a future video. So you might want to stay tuned for that. You might want to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when that video is available. Okay, that's it for today's video. If you did find this useful, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button. Your support really helps me to continue making these videos. And in the future, I have other DIY reptile room hacks that I'll be showing you. So stay tuned, and until then, I look forward to seeing you again real soon.